Mike's a great champion. He's arguably one of the best bantamweights to ever grace the octagon. It was a pleasure going out there and testing my mettle. I had a lot of, what ifs, and I think I solved every one of them.
I think a lot of people thought that, of course, his cardio was kind of legendary. Would you be able to keep up that pace over 5 rounds? And you definitely started, kind of a very intense pace to start out with, and excitable, and all those things. I mean, did you have to settle yourself down a little bit and get into a rhythm to be able to make it that full 5 rounds?
You know what? I come from Team Alpha Male, and that's something they pride themselves on, is a world-class cardio. And that's something that I've always prided myself on since the beginning of wrestling days, boxing days, that the pace that I would push and set and training, my opponents and adversaries wouldn't be able to keep up. And I'm forever grateful for my teammates and coaches to push me day in and day out to keep that cardio and keep that push and to sharpen my skills. So that was never a question. I fight ferocious. I fight like that the first round, the 5th round. I was just getting my lungs warmed up. Give me 5 more rounds, I was running back. Give me 25 more minutes, I would love to do it. I enjoyed it. I was living in the moment, and it was great to go in there and fight one of the best in the world and do what I did.
There were a couple times you really had him in trouble, but you didn't overcommit. I mean, was that the plan going in, or did you just not necessarily see the openings for the finish? Why not necessarily, rush all out for the finish?
I was having so much fun in there. I kind of just got caught up in the fight, and he's hurt a lot. I could have jumped on him, took his back, knocked him out, but he's tough. He's here for a reason. He's the best in the world, and he's done what he's been able to do. It's Dominic Cruz, and I knew he was tough. He's got a big old head, so I know he can absorb a lot of punishment. And he was tough. We were talking back and forth every time we hit one of each other, and I loved it. That was fun. I remember looking in the 3rd round when he had blood spewing down his face, and like I said, he was chattering back and forth with me the whole fight, and I said, "You having fun yet?" And he didn't answer me, and I knew right there that was my fight.
And despite the trash talk in the lead up to this, and then even in the fight tonight, it seemed like you guys did have a little bit of respect for each other afterwards. Can you kind of share what that was like?
Man, if he would have went out there and whooped my ass, I would have shook his hand as coaches and did the same, humble in victory and humble in defeat. But it made me a better person, a better fighter, and that's what it is. I generally don't like the guy. He said a lot of ill words, and like I said, I was going to make him eat every single thing. And it was a great fight. I think we put on a good fight, entertained the crowd, and went out there and delivered a performance, both of us. And like I said, I have a lot of respect for him, always did, but I knew my responsibilities going in there, and that was to get the win and do what I had to do. But like I said, I have respect for him. He was a great champion. He wouldn't be here this long if he wasn't.
And lastly, for me, it does seem like TJ Dillashaw feels he's the #1 contender. Of course, you mentioned his name in the cage afterwards. I mean, is that the fight that you think makes the most sense next? And certainly you deserve some time to enjoy this moment, but I mean, are you already thinking about when a fight like that could take place?
You know what? I had so much fun in there. Don's been arguably the best bantamweight in the world. Let's run that shit back. I say let's give him an immediate rematch, and so he can go off in his next chapter of his career and do that. Like I say, he's been great. I would like to give Dominic Cruz a rematch, but it's ultimately up to UFC. But I'm the champion now. I'm the baddest dude in my division, so I call the shots.
Cody, back here to your left.
Hi, oh boy.
Congratulations, of course, on the win. Kind of walk me through that 3rd and 4th round, because that's really where you started to take over. The 1st and 2nd were a little closer, but then the 3rd, it seemed like you definitely won the 3rd, then you had the knockdowns the 4th. Did you just have a moment in there where you said, "This is it, I'm winning this fight"?
Here's the thing. I always was comfortable in there. I was just really curious to see his speed, his angles, and everyone believed the hype of him being he's the Matrix, he's a ghost in there. Man, he's great. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I was almost in shock that he was slow as he was, and his movements and angles weren't there. Like I said, I kind of was in shock, so I was kind of like, all right, I'm still in here, we're still here fighting. But my coach, Justin Buckle, said, look, the 2 kicks there, he's leaning his head in there. I threw that kick and busted his scalp open with a knee, and blood was running down his face, and that's when it changed right there. He did not like that blood running down his face, and that's when I said, Dominic, are you having fun yet? And he didn't answer me, but in the 1st and 2nd round, he would answer me back each time. So that's right then, I knew that he was not having fun in the fight. I had to keep the forward pressure and stick to my game plan. Don't get overzealous. Don't go for the knockout, don't for the kill. And like I said, I was enjoying it, and I had so much fun. Great competitor, great champion. It was an honor to fight him.
going into it, everyone made so much of his trash talk, the things he was saying, kind of getting you heated. And I know you had told me beforehand that that's just normal for you. You don't mind that. You like the emotion of that. But then inside the cage, you were the one kind of taunting him and pointing at the cage and things like that. I mean, did you kind of feel that in that moment where all that kind of trash talk came back around, where you were kind of having it inside the octagon?
You know what? Like I said, I was living in the moment. I was having fun out there and enjoying it. And, it was a great fight. I had so much fun in there. But he's a great shit talker. He knows he knows a lot of good words. He speaks well. Shit, I couldn't read till I was in the 3rd grade. I barely graduated high school, so I knew what I was getting into with him. I just knew I didn't get emotional and let his words and his trash talk, get me emotional in there. I know I had to stick to my game plan and my strategy, and I knew I would take over. I'm more dominant, faster, and the better fighter in there, and that proved from 1 round to the 5th round.